lecturer shi abun da yake taima mutane karya kenan ko bai bari.
Assalamu alaikum Chama.
Once it goes across here, I'm thinking Milner, he's left him.
Wa alaikum salam sarki, an tashi lafiya.
Alhamdulillah, ya wurinka.
Alhamdulillah. Wai sarki ya zo on time.
Ya gajiya.
Alhamdulillah.
Mun gode ma Allah.
Ya zo on time.
Gasa na ina zaune ina dubo an kare ball Man United. Da ce barin jan ma gaba daya.
Oh, that's good.
Sako bai zo ba sannan.
Abin da ya zo tukuna.
Da shi da barin bar shi kai da ci abinci nan yanzu.
Okay, all right, that's fine.
Running, Johnny, come to Rally. Well, I'm sitting, Johnny, keep on calling down here. What do you even see? I hurt my leg.
Assalamu alaikum.
Ya wa alaikum salam ya Alhaji.
Barkamu.
Barka ka da Alhaji.
Ya kuke?
To alhamdulillah ya kuma.
Mun gode ma Allah. Mun gode ma Allah. Sannu da kwana biyu.
Sannu ka da
ya lockdown.
To lockdown dai ga mu nan ga lockdown.
To Allah ka mana sauki.
Amin.
Allah ka mana sauki. Abin ba ize bane.
Ba ize bane.
Wai. Yanda ka aiko ga yayi easy don ina da wasu da muke yi suka ko direct link ba sai ka sa ababan nan ba.
Yeah.
Yana help. So
it makes life easy.
It makes it easy.
Yeah.
Really okay. When realize why ya delete me wannan. Yeah. Ka san kowa na dakin shi ana
tabe.
Ba wasa ba.
Then they say a brief reminder kan abun a platform nan ga mutane.
Yanzu mu nawa ke kai yanzu haka na kamar Majid na kai ko?
Yanzu mu 6 tukuna.
Mutum shida mu fara.
Yeah.
Save time. Just reflection there on the reality that we are facing today.
So online. Just 1 second now. Don football ya kare ba su ba excuse kowa ya join.
Okay, yau an buga ball.
FA Cup yanzu ga Man U suka ci Liverpool.
Wow. From straight to straight.
Hajiya Barkisu kuma na bisa. Salamu alaikum Hajiya. Ya bi ta nisa da phone nan.
Sarkin Faila bai kai ba.
Wa alaikum salam
Hajiya. Na fatan kuna lafiya.
Alhamdulillah ya kuma.
To
Lalla zuwa
alhamdulillah.
ya gaje kuma.
To mun gode Allah jiya.
Alhaji san da ne.
An duka da ya gida ya yara.
Alhamdulillah.
To ya wannan alloba kuma ana dabara ko.
To muna fama kadan Allah kiyaye.
Allah kiyaye kowa da kowa. Allah ka mana sauki.
Amin.
Ba wasa ba. To. Allah shi ne masani. Allah ka mana sauki.
Amen. So, mun dai fara ba whilst people join us. So, salam alaikum, just to everyone. Today's session is abunga interactive session they muka organize just on our health and safety. Muna gani with this second lockdown, the variant abunga virus is taking the whole country by surprise. Very, very unexpected abunga 10 of events. So at the moment, kuma yabari casualty risk is escalating by the day. So it's sending very, very worrying signals to the authorities and then to each and everyone living in the country at this point in time. These are really, really challenging situations, very, very worrying situations. Families are confused, authorities are confused, but I know within the system, the vaccines are available. They keep encouraging people to have the courage to take the vaccine. It's a protective measure that is not 100% proof by itself, but at least we are all encouraged to protect ourselves and then our families, observe the social distance, stay at home if you're not required to leave the house or to leave home for any other activities. So Akwe Abunga, another drive by the faith community, especially within Abunga East London, encouraging faith leaders, community leaders to take the job to serve as role models to their respective communities, because other conspiracy theories being circulated around social media scaring people away from taking the vaccine, which I think is very, very negative, and then it's misleading to a whole lot of people. So they're encouraging faith community leaders to openly take the vaccine to demonstrate how safe and how protective it is to have the vaccine in the first place. And then during the course of last week, Kuma, I had a telephone call from Abunga Met Police, that's the East London Command, just trying to find out what we're doing as a community. Have we closed our center completely? If not, what protective measures have we put in place to safeguard our community members? So with our center, we have shut it down, even though if they see lights or they see people going in there, we have few people who go in there to clean and then maybe just spend few hours there and then leave. But officially the center, we don't do congregational activities at the center at the moment. So that is our official position. And I continue to liaise with the Newham Council. That's the Newham Muslim Forum. There are different organizations just working with the authorities to see how best we continue to disseminate this information to our communities, encourage community members to take the vaccine, encourage community members to avoid leaving their respective homes, encourage community members to look at our educational part of it. Though schools are not officially shut down completely, there are bubbles that children of frontline workers are allowed to attend school, but which is also at the discretion of the parents. But there is a massive drive at the moment by the government through the various local authorities to provide online learning to children of school-going age. So I encourage each and every one of us to take note of that. If your child is not attending school at the moment, you still have the duty to support the child to access online learning. The various schools are providing, some are doing it through Zoom, they have different software they use via the internet to provide education and then to support children to access education. And if you have a child at home and you have no access to smartphone or computer or laptop, so a laptop to enable you access education, you still have to get in touch with your local authority. There are provisions for all of that for families to access. So we just have to be more proactive in terms of how we support our own children to access education during these challenging times. So I don't want to speak so much. We have more resource people online with us at the moment. So it's more or less interactive. If you have an idea you want to share with the community, you're more than welcome to draw my attention. Then I'll give you the opportunity to also share your experience. But our focus tonight is just our health, our safety as a community, how we hold each other together in these challenging times. I know within East London area, Masjid Ibrahim, they're running series of voluntary activities for burial, and then the food bank is also there. So they're serving the entire community. But it's unfortunate our center will not be able to put this kind of support together, but we still entreat each and every member of our community, if you are in need or if you are in serious need of any support, any help, you get in touch with Serki or Majid or myself. We see what we could put together to help you out. So, Alaj, okay.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
My greetings to everyone, inshallah. It's been a while.
Yeah.
May Allah protect all of us.
Amen. Amen.
I've been jotting down some notes as to what I would like to add to what you've already mentioned. The last one with Masjid Ibrahim.
Yeah.
I saw Masjid Ibrahim in the news 2 days ago.
Yeah.
I think BBC covered Masjid Ibrahim at Newham Hospital.
Yeah.
And I can see, as you said, there's a lot going on around there.
Yeah.
So as Muslims and as a small group as we are,
yeah,
I will recommend the leadership to liaise with Masjid Ibrahim in this time of need, to partner with them in terms of the logistic, in terms of the kind of help that they are offering. If we have people within our midst that will qualify for their small help, we should. I think they are more than willing to help. We shouldn't shy away from that. Because they know we are Muslims, we are a small group, we are their neighbors. And doing that, if some of us can also volunteer as to the kind of help they are giving, in another way, they can also reciprocate in terms of those who are in need within our community. If there's something they can offer us. Also, with regard to the online learning, I think there has been some information that has come out, and to do with computers like laptop, for those who are in need, who couldn't afford it for their kids. The schools are providing that. And within the Hackney area, there's one charity led by one African American. What she's doing is, I think she's getting laptops from people. People are donating to her. And essentially she's also recycling it to the community, those who cannot afford. That one is also there.
That's good.
The website I forgot about. As soon as I remember, I'll let you know. So you put it across. You are calling for people to come forward.
I like video.
They are calling for people to come forward. Who are in need. Also, yes, having said that, the first comment you made is about the community leadership. Inshallah, the government and the health sector, they are very, very proactive in giving everybody the vaccine. And my point is to encourage everyone, every member of the community. We shouldn't hesitate. We should go for the vaccine. The more people have the vaccine, the better for the rest of the population.
That's right.
Yes, there's no point. Some people are having it and others are not having it. It doesn't help. Why the vaccine? That's the question here. Why the vaccine? There is a lot of fake news out there that's scaring people away, especially among the African community, as well as the Muslim and Asian community. Yet still, we are the most vulnerable group in terms of statistics.
Yes,
and we are the most affected in terms of what has happened so far. So why, now that there is a rescue, we are being scared away, and the same people who are less vulnerable are taking it, and we are shying away from it? I don't think it makes sense here. I, for one, I did mine yesterday.
Oh, that's good.
But I took a video, hoping to send it to the community. But to be honest with you, my wife is not comfortable with it, so I stopped sending the video. Because previous videos that I did, encouraging people, specifically for our community in London, it went as far as Africa, America, people. So my video wasn't meant for this group. So I understand her point. So when I show her the video, she said, no, I like you. I said, okay, since I'm your husband, I'm ready to listen. If I'm a lone person, I'll do it without advice. So I did a video. I took a video, and I just to show that, look, this is how it is. Like, when it's after you come, you just can't. You don't get allura ya shige ka. Amma akwai wani allura ma in ayi maka kana jin zafin magani.
Okay.
To wannan maganin baka jin komai banda alluran da shige.
Well, yeah.
So the only thing before you have to take some paracetamol. And I recommend, you take some paracetamol before you go for it, because you might have some shivering, something. It's all psychological.
Okay.
So now after, to prevent any pain in the side or swelling and so on, you can take ibuprofen. Ibuprofen is anti-inflammatory.
Okay.
Anti-inflammatory. So ibuprofen with paracetamol, it will help you from all this. Even my wife had hers on Friday. The next day she went to work.
Oh, that's good.
Now it's there for all of us, the healthcare sectors. We are queuing to take it so that we can look after others.
Yeah.
So my question is, why the vaccine? That's the main question. The vaccine, what it does is it prevents the case from deteriorating. Let's say you got the vaccine, you catch the virus, you will end up in ITU.
Okay.
Ending up in ITU is the issue. You see, you will end up in ITU. The fact is, everybody will get the what do you call the virus, but the extent to which it affects your health is the case here.
Okay.
So not all of us have the same immune system. You see, and the immune system, it increases at a point and it decreases at a point. Let's say if you are too stressful, your immune system drops drastically. You see, that's why when you get if you tested positive, they encourage you to do what? Stay at home, take paracetamol, a lot of rest. That exercise enough to build up your immune system. But if you have the, the virus, in a sense, before it knocks you down, it will stay with you for a couple of days, and you might end up spreading it to other innocent people without knowing. Before you recognize that the fact that you are down there struggling, you have already spread it to many people. You see, so the prevention measure is the best measure. So it's all preventive. Distancing, face mask, hand sanitizer, and hand washing. Even if you have the vaccine, you need to continue with this measure for as long as it takes everyone to have the vaccine, as long as it takes for statistics to show that all hard cases is dropping to the point now we'll be confident to say, look, we have done with it to that point. Don't leave your guard. Don't ever leave your guard. Yes, we are all in it together and we should help each other. And it's very important. We're listening to each other. And that's the reason why we have this section. In our own small way, as a small community, the little that we can share, I think it will go a long way to help all of us. Yeah, at this time of need. May Allah help all of us, inshallah. So I'll stop here. The one thing I need to add about the new variant. Yes, the more it's happened, there are scientists around the clock working hard. Even today in the news, one part I read, they are working on a vaccine that will take on any variant that will come out of this.
Wow.
They are working on that vigorously here in UK. We are ahead of everybody. And the reason why we have this, because this COVID itself was there. It's the same as SARS, MERS, and so on. And the 19 is a mutation of the other one. So now that is having a different variant coming out, it's the same mutation taking place. So if they know the causation factor of the mutation and they work towards getting a vaccine for that, so that will put a stop. I mean, will give you a vaccine that will actually protect against any variant that could come out. So that is a possibility. Yeah, that's a possibility. So we shouldn't lose hope. Let's all be hopeful and keep up with our prayers. Yeah, I'll stop here. Anyone can also chip in, inshallah.
Yeah, just for clarification, in terms of the symptoms, are the symptoms the same for the actual COVID and the variant? Or?
Yeah, they are the same.
Okay.
The symptoms are the same. Just that they said with the new variant, the spread is faster than the first one.
Okay.
Yeah, it's faster to the point that it even affects children.
Wow.
Yes, children are getting it. So that's why they have to close down the schools. See, but having said that, the children, in their case, their immune system is much stronger than the elderly.
Yeah.
It's much stronger than the elderly, and they fight it off if they stay away and take that necessary measure of resting and so on. That's why they close down the schools. Yeah.
And then another myth or another area people are more confused about is some people are of the view that if you get infected once and healed, you are completely immune from it again.
That is not known yet.
Okay.
Remember, it's a new thing altogether.
Yeah.
Out of what now they are taking data every day.
Yeah.
So out of which we will get to know the reality of it. Even having taken the vaccine, we are yet to know that are we going to have it every year like the flu vaccine?
Okay.
Or once we have it, is it all? So we wouldn't know till all of us had the vaccine. We wouldn't know till about 6 months later. We see how, or even about a year later, we see how it behaves or how our body responded. Let's say, so far I haven't heard of anyone who have taken the vaccine and has been knocked down by the virus yet.
Yeah. Okay.
Is it something that will happen? We don't know. So we are taking evidence. In medicine, there's what we call evidence-based. So there's a lot of evidence. So they tell us after having the vaccine, they give you a leaflet to keep in touch in case of anything, any adverse events that happen to you, anything that you think is unusual, you quickly let them know so that you add it into their records of things that could happen. Yeah, but before you take it, they'll ask you a series of questions regarding reaction to medication, reaction to vaccines, any allergy at all that you have. So there are certain allergies that if you mention it to them, you might not be given. And that is not in this note that they gave me, but they just indicated they were asking you to answer either yes or no.
Okay.
Yeah.
So also, maybe just point of information to the entire community members. Allah is a living testimony of the vaccine. I know a lot of people send some videos across social media just to scare people to say, oh, 2 hours after taking the vaccine, this is how I feel. They show people break dancing or trying to just physically do some funny moves to scare people that they have taken the vaccine. After 2 hours, they feel like Michael Jackson or something like that.
Can you imagine? I had the Oxford Extravanica one. My wife had the Visa on Friday. So the next day she's off to work. Even up to today, she hasn't stopped working.
Yeah.
And I had it yesterday. Here am I talking to you. So what is the is the what people are saying? But having said this, people might have some
underlying health issues.
Come on, Mr. Alec, yeah. Come on, Mr. Kaga, what's also allergic to peanuts.
Okay.
That's that guy.
Yeah.
So near the origin Kodu Gujiako.
So
Didn't do anything. So when you see Koduma Guji and Yabu said she create motor. What's called the allergic to shellfish.
Okay.
So in the hospital, this kind of food allergy we take them into consideration. The same way, in general anesthetic is what we call propofol. So propofol has a component of propofol, there's egg in it. So before we give you a general anesthetic, we ask you if you're allergic to egg. So we won't give you propofol. This is on the other side of things with medicine. So if you come to the hospital, there are other antibiotics like amoxicillin and so on and so forth. Someone will be allergic to amoxicillin, right? So they won't give amoxicillin, but you get another antibiotic which is closer to amoxicillin, but doesn't have the same component that makes the person allergic.
Okay.
So it could be a one-off allergic reaction by someone who has some underlying condition. So that one also, they are looking to see what kind of thing that somebody has that will give him a reaction. Okay. So that's why they give you a leaflet to let them know immediately, whatever happens, so that they'll put that into their record.
Okay.
Yes. Now,
sure, many a side effect in vaccine number. What a side effect is that?
It's a normal vaccine. It's a normal vaccine. My side effect, kaga inda za maka allura ka ji dan kumburi ko kamar wurin ya maka zafi ko kuwa a'a ka feel kamar jikinka kamar baka da lafiya, something like that, for a couple of hours, and that's it. So having said this, wani kuma shi yaye yana da wani abu hidin da ba sani ba da zai create mai wani abu da ba mu gani ba tukun, ka gane ko? So na ake encourage duk wanda ya experience wani abu da bai san kanshi da shi ba bayan ya bar a sani saboda a bincike a san me kuma ne zai iya create ma mutum wani abu ya dauki vaccine. But so far of the many that have taken it, wannan issue bai taso ba. As far as our record here in England is concerned.
Okay.
And we are encouraging as many people to go for it, to save life. Now, the myth of not taking it is about what? What is the alternative? Is what we are seeing. People are dying. Yes.
That's it.
We've all lost loved ones. And it's real.
It's real.
So the death is inevitable. We are all dying anyway. But what are we suffering or afraid from or trying to prevent? The suffering. You see, to minimize the suffering.
Yeah.
But if you are destined to die during this period, well, nothing can stop it.
That's it.
But the vaccine is a prevention and minimization of that pain that people get when they get to ITU. And at the same time, in the ITU, the circumstance there is too much for the nurses. Yeah. The resources is limited. Why is it limited? In the ordinary ward, you might have about, say, 4 bays. Each bay might have about 6 to 10 patients. That's ordinary ward. That's what it is. But in ITU, because of the equipment involved, the ITU has got a limited number of space for people. Yeah. So what is happening now with the increased demand for ITU, people hardly end up in ITU anyway under ordinary circumstance. So ITU bed is not something that is utilized a lot in the hospital environment. It's by accident. When people have accident, they end up in ITU. Couple of days, 1 week, they are transferred to the normal ward. Or when people have severe case, ITU. So ITU, normal ITU, a small place like Homerton, is 8 patients at a given time. So even the 8 patients, you don't have it fully occupied all the time. But here is a case where we have this virus that is putting people down to the point of needing ITU bed, which has never been the norm.
In hundreds.
Yes. So what happened was we converted so many wards into ITU. How do you do that? You have to run the oxygen pipe, suction pipes, and so many things. And you have to get the ventilators. So if, let's say, the hospitals are about 90% ITU equipped, this will not be the case. Even having the equipment, you need the personnel, the training. For a nurse to have that ITU expertise is a vigorous training. And each nurse or each shift has about 2 or 3 permanent doctors who are also overlooking everything. So it's not like ordinary ward. You see? So people go to the hospital and say, oh, some videos going around, the hospitals are empty, there's no people, hey, they are lying. No. The ITU has got all the resources. Another part of the hospital has to close. Why? Because preventing people from coming. And all the non-urgent treatment has to stop, so that resources can be turned into the ITU and the A&E area. And of course, maternity ward as well, because still women are coming for cesarean section and so forth. That's another emergency that's being taken care of. Yeah. May Allah protect us.
Amen. I think in summary, what Allah has been able to put across is that the vaccine is safe. It's good for each and everyone is encouraged to do that. Sadki aluran be the chiu. So comment Allah.
Is it compulsory? Is it compulsory? Aluran now.
It's not. You have a choice, but I would strongly recommend, especially being Sarki, a community leader. That's all what leadership is all about. That's all what leadership is all about. Take a leader, we follow you.
Chairman take lead.
Oh, ni office dole.
Before chairman, there was Sarki. You should get that clear.
Ni dole ni is just a matter of time. We are queuing. Ana queuing. Weekends, Saturdays, okay, we can never took.
Allah barisa.
Amen.
But Allah kia ikoa. Allah kia ikoa.
Amen.
Is that like with vaccine? Kaka Jacob, kama ambu kuma kazo ka ini kode yara ka ankira ka kazo ka ini kode kere ke mark request.
Only yanzu ana kira ne GP, and then within the community kuma ana encouraging pharmacy. So masika abin da shows liaise the GP so that GP suke the patients. So suka liaise the pharmaceutical she must help us with the case about as many people from the GP surgery as possible through the pharmacy outlets. Yeah, ama muda muke healthcare anyi shi open. In kazo lokaci kai free no kazo ana so mu zo mu yi as early as possible saboda we are with the patients. Yeah, kuma da yawa suna gida ba su zuwa aiki saboda they are high risk. Yeah. Mani aka na aiki all the way till October. Then I was classified as high risk, so I have to stay at home.
Yeah.
But I'm willing to go back. So with the vaccine, I'll plan and go back as soon as possible. But the place is too tight, and I need to
So
yeah. Allah bin gamu kawai. Allah kare mu duka.
No, I like Mungo switch Kadamba, and then we'll come back to health maybe later. Senior, I can't move. We're coming to you now. Now, senior, come on, kind of the visitors, a bit distracted. Go back.
Now to the right place.
This is
that's all right. You're welcome.
Yeah, this is second lockdown. That's with the previous first lockdown, and there were some financial incentives launched by the government to help people, businesses, and then to see how best we could all cope through this period. I know from financial pressure has caused a lot of issues within families, has caused a lot of trauma, a lot of various complications within families. But that's with the previous sessions in the Muka, Majid was able to give good pointers to community members to access various financial support from the government. So we are back into the same kind of situation again. So hopefully either the existing packages are still relevant, or they have been modified, or there are new ones in place at this point in time. Sina, if you could come in now, just to give us a bit of insight.
Okay, so thank you very much. And Alhaj, just to add that I think the virus is going to be with us for a very long time.
So,
Because I was talking to one of my mates at HSBC, and he was working on a loan that the company have gained for about $50 billion, and they're supposed to provide PPE equipment for 10 years to the US government.
wow.
So it means we are not out of the woods yet. So like Chairman said earlier on, we need to follow the guidelines. And Alaji also said, well, the vaccine is the surest bet way out of this thing. So we just have to prepare and then make sure we do the right thing. Because if the leaders are entering into contract to supply PPE for 10 years, then it is not something that we can get away with in the medium term. Well, as a result of the pandemic, the government, well, they've been throwing money all over the place. There are risks on some of this money, and we always need to be very careful. But all the same, we have to make sure that we claim as much as we can. That is what is due us. We should be able to claim it. If we don't claim it and it comes to the time of payment, we will still be asked to contribute to make the payment. There was this job retention scheme for employees. I know initially when they launched it, many employers were claiming and they were not passing on the money to the employees. But then upon complaints from individuals, the government is now, from February next month, they'll be publishing all the employers who have claimed it on the employees' HMRC account. So anyone who has a gateway account, you can log in and check and see if an employer has claimed it and not passed the money on to you. Okay. And then you can take further action. That's on the job retention scheme. And then like we all know, it is supposed to end in April, but the chancellor is under pressure to extend it. I learned there's going to be an announcement in the March budget. He'll give a budget on the 3rd of March. Okay. So we are waiting to see what is in it. And then for those who are not employees and have their own business, like self-employed, there's also this self-employed income support grant. The government has paid 3 times. The government has paid 3 times, and the 4th one will be in February, that is next month. So for those who are self-employed and have not yet claimed for the 3rd grant, I will encourage them to do so if they get a chance. And then there's also a lot of support for businesses. There's the business rate relief for those who have offices or shops. And then initially it was 10,000 or 25,000, depending on the rateable value of the property. But then during the 3rd lockdown, the government announced another 4.6 billion. That's extra 9,000 for every business that pays business rate. For those who have offices and businesses, I mean, it's very good you put in your claim and then take the money. Because at the end of the day, it is our money. If you deserve it, you need to claim for it. And then some businesses try to claim insurance as a result of the pandemic. They call it the business interruption insurance. And the insurance companies were not willing to make payment. So as a result, the Financial Conduct Authority, they took the insurance companies to court to explain what is meant by business interruption. Because the insurance companies were saying that, oh, business interruption doesn't mean this pandemic, this disease. So luckily for businesses, the Supreme Court ruled on behalf of small businesses that business interruption can also include this pandemic. So the advice was that for all businesses, including cab drivers, sole traders, whatever it is, look at your insurance contract and see whether the small print, it has a business interruption cover. If it is, then you can put in your claim and you make good money. You can claim up to 700,000. It depends on the size of the business.
Wow.
So it is worth giving it a try. Because if you have business insurance for your car, I'm sure it will cover it. So the good news is I think everybody should give it a go. No matter how small it is, it will help in one way or the other. I think basically that is the new information which is on hand. But if others have further questions, I'm here to answer it.
Yeah, Senior, what you mention where if you test positive or if you are in self-isolation, you are entitled to £500. Kode or no kuma?
Yes, that is right. If you test positive or you are in self-isolation, you're supposed to £500. But the councils are supposed to make those payments, and they made the criteria for collecting it to be very difficult. Initially, if you are putting in a claim, they will ask whether you get you are on benefits. I think their priority was giving it to those on benefits. Okay. If you're not on benefit, they need to give you your bank statement to show that your income has actually reduced. But there's pressure on the chancellor to scrap that requirement so that anyone who tests positive or anyone who self-isolates, they have to give him that money. Okay. And it is what we are waiting. We are now waiting for the government to come back to tell us what whether they agree with that. But sometimes, for the instances where others have claimed, they tell you, oh, if you don't claim within 14 days, then you are not entitled. But I think you still need to put in the claim because I've done it in some circumstances for some people who did a claim more than maybe 14 days after the their self-isolation period has ended, but they still got the money from their council. So I will ask anyone to give it a try.
I'm self-isolating at the moment, so I'm still entitled.
No, the rule is if you are self-isolating because of if you've had contact with someone with COVID.
Okay.
But if it is as a result of you traveling or anything, I think that doesn't cover it.
Okay.
But I think that for that one, employers assess it on a case-by-case basis. Some employers will pay when you are self-isolated. Others also will not want to pay it.
Wow.
So that is it.
Yeah, so thank you very much, Senior. So, Jama, this is the piece of information we've got tonight from Senior Majid. Yankurinde, with the health, education or family, children and family or financial aspect, and they want in the one question, item so that it's more interactive, or maybe if you have a contribution, you are still welcome to contribute. So the lines are open. If you draw my attention, then I will unmute you so that you'll contribute. Yeah, Alad.
We should look at the psychological aspect of the situation that we find ourselves.
Yeah.
What I can say about this, as we can see, is very, very unusual time. So one aspect for us is to keep ourselves busy. Okay. I have tried it, and I recommend it to everyone. We should keep ourselves busy in terms of the activities that are available on the internet. Yeah, watching movies alone will not help. But we are fortunate, we are Muslims, and we are Tijanis, majority of us. Alhamdulillah, we have zikr. And zikr could be the zikr that you do with your tasbih, could be the recitation of the Quran. And this psychologically is a booster. It gives you that psychological booster that you really need to carry on. It makes your days shorter, to be honest with you. And as you can see with the prophetic example of Nawafil, so many Nawafils before Zuhur, after Zuhur, before Asr, after Maghrib, before Isha, and your normal wazifa and work is enough to keep you busy for your 24 hours. And beside that, we are in the winter time where we have shorter days and longer nights. With your longer nights, you can utilize it very, very spiritually, and you see yourself better off than you were before in terms of tahajjud and qiyamul layl. And when it comes to Monday and Thursday, we should all try to fast. And it's easier to fast in the winter than in the summer. And we shouldn't let this, we should try and benefit from this. And that will also help us a lot in terms of our psychological well-being, which we needed more than any other time before. Yeah, that is my contribution. Yeah. And also, I would like to suggest that I know we try your best to bring our scholars to give us some, to discuss about some topics every now and then. At this time, we shouldn't let a week go by. If you don't have a scholar, get people together and have an open discussion like this. It's better, so that will give us a chance to know, to hear from each other, at least. We should encourage as many members to log in, to make this our meeting place. In fact, the center is now on the net, on the Zoom, to discuss, to ask about each other, and sort of appreciate the fact that we are all alive and kicking.
That's it.
Just unfortunate thing happened a couple of weeks ago. One of our members passed away on his own, in his room for a couple of days without nobody know.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, and more unfortunate is somebody who has a wife and child. And none of us comprehend the situation. Not until this happened. We didn't know that they even had some issue and the wife was living somewhere and the husband was somewhere.
Yeah.
So this is a difficult time. Among our group here, our community, if we knew of any member who is having difficulties with the spouse at home, you don't need to call everybody. Just find some few people.
Yes, a few, yeah.
Let us settle the matter. It's better. Yeah. Because this is a very difficult time. Yeah. And also we appeal to couples to be more patient with each other. And charity begins at home. We should support each other more than ever before. We talk of money, we talk of vaccine, but the best of all this is the love you have with your spouse and the peaceful coexistence you have with your spouse in this time, in this place where we are today. So that is my contribution. Yes.
Yes, and like just adding to that in terms of peaceful coexistence within the family environment, and given our lifestyle in this country vis-a-vis our job schedules, a lot of families live, or people live with their spouses for years in this country, but they've never spent 7 days together within their household until this lockdown period. Good. So this certainly brought them a complete different challenge in their marital relationship. We've seen that a lot from our work environment. So this is the time they're able to sit with their spouses 24 hours within the four corners of the house. And this is a big test to all of them to see how to tolerate each other and how to even understand each other as spouses, given that previously one is coming, the other one is leaving. So they've never had this opportunity. So these are real challenging period. High rate of domestic violence incidents, high rate of exposure of young children to incidents of violence. Violence just doesn't mean maybe physical punches or kicking or doing anything of that nature. A lot of argument, foul language within the home environment, slamming of doors, and all of that constitute domestic violence. So it's not appropriate for children to be exposed to those kind of situations within our home environment. So we try to encourage. There are some families, the advice is that anytime there is bound to be an argument of that nature, the lockdown allows walk around the park. So you could take 5 minutes walk, 10 minutes walk out, and then wait for the tension to cool down, and then you come back into the home environment rather than staying at home to escalate matters to the point that maybe police will be called in, or you set a frightening home environment for your children, which is emotionally abusive to them.
I would like to add to this, Chairman.
No.
Having mentioned that we are privileged to be Muslims.
No.
And with being a Muslim, everything that we do is an act of ibadah.
No.
Whatever we do is an act of ibadah. Imagine somebody living with a girlfriend. They are not married, yeah? But we are assured that the day they decide that to invite the imam to announce to each other that their husband and wife, their status has changed. They are doing ibadah. And all that has happened before they did that. Nikah will all be turned into sawab and be given to them. So what happens after the nikah? During the nikah, the imam will say, وَجَعَلَ بَيْنَهُمْ مَوَدَّةً وَرَحْمَةً. So this is a word from the Quran. Mawadda is a very huge favor on mankind. That's a kind of affection and love which we can have an equivalent word in English. But when you mention rahmah, it's something that comes from Allah. So with mawadda, it's a lot of consideration you have in your heart for the other person and vice versa. So if you combine this with the activities of being a Muslim, let's say now we find ourselves confined in the same house 24/7, and we engage in all the Islamic prescription, i.e. salah, sawm, and so on, eating together and iftar together, you feel yourself like you are in Ramadan again.
That's it.
Even if it's Qiyamul Layl, the kids will be excited. You become the imam, or one of the elder kids become the imam. So that kind of activities, religious are that you cannot do outside. Now you have the opportunity to lead the family to do that, and that will bring a different flavor altogether to the peaceful coexistence that we find ourselves. And in addition to this, with regard to what you call time, there are other things that is happening. I have a group that invited me. Very interesting, you'll be surprised. It's a group of people all over the world.
Okay.
But what is the aim? One of them is a scholar, Arabic scholar, and he's putting a course that happens Saturday and Sunday morning. It's Arabic course. Some of us who study a little bit of Arabic, we find ourselves polishing our Arabic with that.
That's good.
Yes, and also all is happening on the Zoom. And to be honest, most of them from Ghana, but we don't know each other. I don't know most of them.
We're good to connect.
Yes. And another one is about the Arba'una Hadith.
Hadith, okay.
That he explained to us one every Saturday morning, and he would put across the wording of the Hadith, and we all discuss just like we're having this discussion.
No.
And one time they invited one professor explaining about Islamic finance. You know, there's the buzzword that's going on about Islamic banking. It's all about Islamic finance. What is it all about? And there's a lot of information there for us as Muslims to bank on. So I will recommend this. If the chairman can put up a course, something that will be interesting to the group, instead of normal wa'azi, something interactive to get people sort of inclined to it, to love to come. Yeah. We need to be with the basic accounting from Dr. Majid here. To help out save some more money. We all join in. There's something to keep the group functioning, coming together and keeping busy. Yeah, this is what I would recommend. And also, having said, you see the kids, there is some ulamas around, they are teaching like Quran recitation on Zoom as well.
Okay.
A specific time for the kids.
Okay.
Yeah. And also with the Arabic, there's someone I know around Plaistow there who's also organized basic Arabic. In fact, he told me to tell friends who might be interested. This happened on Friday and Saturday evening. Yeah, Friday and Saturday evening. Basic Arabic using the book of Medina Arabic, book 1. Yeah, for those who might want to polish their Arabic is good.
Okay.
Yeah. If you know someone in our community who can also do that for us at our own time, that we agree. And here's another thing, just to keep ourselves busy. By the end of the day, we see we've acquired some knowledge.
That's right.
Yes. And I would like to add to this as well, with regard to courses, there are fundings available for those who might want to go back to uni. Even if you have your first degree, as long as you're not up to 60, there is a funding for you to go back to uni. Either to top up, to do a second degree, you can have it, or first degree, and all this is happening online. So this is for all of us to explore. We talk about money, we should talk about upgrading our knowledge as well, on all aspects of it. Yeah, may Allah make it easy for us.
Amen. So I think this is really laudable. I think in terms of the various lectures, I know myself and Serki, we're working to get another legal resource person to talk about Brexit and then what we stand to gain and then what the challenges we'll be facing as well as an immigrant community or a migrant community rather. So we get that also probably within the course of the weeks to come. And then just as you rightly suggested, we will continue weekly, even if not a lecture, but something of this nature, just to bring all community members alive here. At least today we are 10 online at the moment, but our numerical strength is around 70 to 80. So we try and encourage a lot of people to log in. I know Jamal is with Senior today, but he has not logged in, so he might be listening to us. We get a lot of people logging in just to touch base because we never know. Just as you said, someone being poorly, another person dead in the room, and nobody seems to know what is happening with that person. It's really, really a very sad situation. We pray and hope that Allah will continue to guide and protect all of us through these challenging times. Senior Imagana. Yeah, Senior on mute.
Okay. Alaji, I've got a question. If we are invited for the vaccine, do we have a choice of the one that we want, or they have to select that and say, okay, we are giving you? I think we know, and I know
The
3 has been
Pfizer
approved.
and then the Oxford, yeah.
Actually, at the moment, they have the AstraZeneca and the Pfizer. The Pfizer was available before the AstraZeneca. This is funny enough. My wife works in Newham. She had the Pfizer on Friday, and I went to my workplace on Saturday, and I had the AstraZeneca. So it's what is available they will give you, because they what do you call, consider all of them to be equally potent for the same cost. Okay. So once you have the first one, you come for the second one. They're all like that. They're all the same. Just that the first one is from America and the second one from UK. Yeah. So whichever one is available, they'll give it to you. Okay. Yeah. I remember Sarki was asking me about the possible side effects earlier, and I have the listing here in front of me. I'll read it to you. But this comes in the bottle where they take it, so they give you this to take with you.
Okay.
Yeah. So what is written there is a possible side effect. Okay. Yeah. It is a very common, may affect more than between 1 in 10 people. Very common.
Okay.
Tenderness, pain, warmth, redness, itchy, swelling or bruising, where the side of injection.
Okay.
And this is normal with any injection. The feeling of unwell, like fatigue and tiredness after you had it for a couple of hours, 1 in 10 people. Feeling shiverish or headache, or feeling of nausea or joint pain for 1 in 10 people. This is something that can happen with any other distance. Also, another one for 1 in 10 people about a lump at the injection site, flu-like symptom. You feel like you had a flu, something that will last a couple of hours. Yeah. But the uncommon, that may affect 1 in 100, they mentioned here, feeling of dizziness after having it.
Okay.
Decreased appetite or abdominal pain. Yeah. Or enlarged lymph nodes. Yeah. Or excessive sweating, itchy skin rash. That is unusual. 1 in 100. Yeah. So this is indicated on the leaflet right in front of me here. And that is for the AstraZeneca vaccine.
Okay.
I would like to add something. You know, at the beginning, we're encouraging each other about this African thing. I've never stopped drinking it. Up to today, I still have mine in the kitchen. The pineapple, the soboro, the munyami and kakadro together. The pot is there. Okay. First thing in the morning, we all drink it. So don't stop. Yes, also the steaming. Yeah. I think Majid is here to bear testimony to that. He'll tell us how that helped him a lot when he was knocked down.
Yeah, that's true. It's very effective.
And I think the Chinese are celebrating now. I saw them on telly, and the news we got from them is the steaming, is general thing they do on daily basis there. So let's adhere to that as well. Let's lose that, inshallah.
That's good.
Allah will protect us.
Thank you very much.
So, Jama, any further contributions or questions? We've gone past the hour mark at the moment.
Mashallah.
Wamuji commenting. I got another lady. Is it Maimuna join us? Any comment? Sina Idris. Wakama gana wamuji kawa Idris. Yeah, I think they've gone so quiet. So I think in the absence of further contributions and questions, we may draw the curtains down here. And then we thank each and everyone for making time to be with us tonight. And then next week, inshallah, we shall advertise what we got to do next week for the benefit of the community. We still encourage members to contribute or to send suggestions of any other activity they may think will be beneficial to the community. Sina Idris.
Salaam alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Ake ina mishi na mutu kaina ne.
Oh.
Barka da jama'a.
To barka ka dai.
Masha Allah. Ni contribution da dan baye ne, I think is to do something to do with mental health.
Yeah.
So ina gani kaman we need to get somebody expert to come and talk to us about mental health.
Okay.
Because it look like a lot of mutane they were having that kind of mental health in the family oriented perspective in gidajen mutane da yawa. By something that mun cire ido mu kai kuma ina affect mutane families da yawa.
Okay.
Yeah. So imagine kaman a ce kaman wani ma da diyanta kawai suna gida shi mun ta samu mental health shi sauri yara guda biyu cikin gida. Ka gane ko?
Yeah.
So it's something that we need to, abin haka tackling early help. Yeah, help. So I think if we can get somebody on that, Koko Chairman Kaika, shirya wani abu kan mental health the next time so that mu yi maganan kanshi.
All right. Okay, that's really good. Thank you very much for that. We'll look into that. She na abunga akwai one Islamic abunga charity. They deliver seminar on abunga mental health using the Islamic perspective. So that she ni suggestion and we Zoom suka ce no to deliver an effective session they need a minimum of 4 hours consecutively to do it. So she we can't pin our members down for 4 hours online. So that is practically impossible. And usually they deliver it face to face, but with this lockdown, it's impossible for us to do that. So I could still speak to them, maybe half an hour or just 1 hour, maximum 1 hour, because in the lecture exceed 1 hour, it loses its intensity. Yeah. So now I'm going to the Sukma Muduba. But now they're using Islamic perspectives, Zikiri the Soros who come in the Elijah mentioned earlier on, but they want to add different dimensions to that.
Okay.
Yeah. Welcome, Walid Ruiz. Yeah. Actually, having said that, within our midst, one of the members of our community who are also senior colleagues in the mental health sector.
That's good.
So I can speak to one or two to see if they can sort of chip in their time to give us something to cover this.
Even if it's half an hour.
I'll do that.
Okay.
Because we need each other. This is the time. This is the time.
That's right.
May Allah help us.
Amen.
Allah help us.
Aje da zunaga kin daga hannu. Aje barkisu. Da zunaga ta daga hannu before Sina Idris ya magana nan.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam aje.
Yeah, okay. Question Anazua Galaji the bottle vaccine and she muke them find out. Inka kama yamada hausa nanka carry vaccine. Does it prevent you from spreading it to others? Domi maybe ni na jena injection na fo kaman domi anche kaman inka inject man may prevent you from getting it. So yeah,
that's true.
Does it prevent you from spreading it to others?
No.
Okay.
What it does, it helps you to maintain your health without getting deteriorated.
Okay.
Yeah, but
it won't prevent you from spreading it.
No, it won't. After even having the injection, you should still maintain the distance and all the protocols.
Okay.
Come on,
okay.
Come on, misali. Before HIV, the is a death sentence. But Yanzu is not. Some of the medication they are available now.
Yeah.
People have HIV and on medication.
Okay.
And they are living their normal life.
Okay.
It doesn't worsen to AIDS. So HIV it breaks your immune system. Anything can break you down. So AIDS is when you are deteriorated to the point that you cannot have cure. And so this vaccine will stop your condition getting worse. Will stop you ending up in in ITU. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Second question, like you've already had it before. So what is the possibility for you getting it again, or do you still have to have the vaccine?
You still have to have the vaccine because nobody knows. It's a new thing altogether. Statistics is being gathered and all evidence is being recorded. So now together with our experience, we are forming a new knowledge altogether. Yes. Okay. So whether you've had it before or not, go for the vaccine. Minimize your chances of what you call getting worse. If
okay.
Okay. This is the issue. Allah karamuna lafiya kiyaye.
Amin. So Allah mun gode sosai, mun gode da contribution da muka samu yau, and then the same goes to each and every one of us tonight. Allah, maybe and wrap up muna da addu'a so that we call it a day.
Da kamar ayi addu'a na so jama'an da ba su yi magana ba ayi gaisuwa tsakani, psychologically it helps.
Okay.
Ayi gaishe a kira suna
Wisconsin.
Bagobiri sun boye bayan kamera.
Wisconsin da Habib.
Kuma sai magana ce yana neman fura kuma bai ladabi bai kira ya gaisuwa.
Ni na san an yi haka.
To kallon fuskar ka wala. Kaji kuma kana boye kana
na so faro ma Alhaji ne. Gaskiya na sakani na da Allah. In nayi vaccine ga ko me ya same ni ku kama Alhaji.
Tun yanzu ma za ka kama ni tun yanzu.
Wanda ne ka sha gawayi fa wani ya kawo bidiyo wa sha gawayi. Wa sha gawayi. Solution gawayi.
Ni magana Alhaji ya gawayi.
Ai da ka sha ga kuma ka sha taddawa. Ko ka yi rubutu sunan Allah sai ka sha rubutu.
Yeah, Habib ba mu ji ka ba.
Alhaji ya convince.
Habib.
Magana ya convince ni Alhaji ban ba shan furawo.
Ina da ji ne.
Oh, kana da ji ko? Ya gane yaushe ka zo?
Oh, na zo tun on the 13th.
Awa suno yo na ya narke zafin ganan duka ko ya shanye shi duka.
Ba ai zai bari.
Muna jin ka. Assalamu alaikum. Imrana.
Mr. Chairman. Akwai wasu da suka zo da wani short video about prophetic medicine. From among our Muslim community, they were kuma sun yi amfani da wannan kamar habbatus sauda.
Okay.
Habbatus sauda now we call it the black seed oil. Yeah. Akwai kuma garin shi. So in ka same shi every day kana shan teaspoon. Don yana da wani heat. Heat tendency. So according to explanation, one heat tendency now it repels the virus. The virus based on zafi. Yes. So through my own deduction, going back to prophetic, what you call traditions. The one they current already, Jimal already, one kazorin alwala. It's been shock. Shine kashaka, nzaka sa ruwa, hancin ka shaka ruwan nan ka fete.
Hancinka.
Hancinka so uku. Ka sa ruwa hancin ka fete so uku. Sannan ka zo wurin wanke bakinka ko wai wal madmagatu, wato ka sa ruwa makogoronka ka kurkure ka zubar. To kaga duk wanda ya wanda ke tunanin wannan hikiman da ke ciki, ne an ce virus nan ya saura kan hancinka for a couple of days. Tukuna ya gangara makogoronka for a couple of days. Tukunan ya sauka cikin fufunka zai zama babban illa, kana bukatar asibiti ka kasa wuce. To wanda mun yi alwalan mun nan da kyau from day one, ne ta hancinka ne kuma kana alwala so 5, ka tun fete shi ka zubar ko. Sannan ma ka makogoron ka inda ka yi wannan kurkurewan makogoron nan so 5, so 3, so 5 rana ɗaya, is more or less the same. But yes, still na ana son duka kai da ruwan zafi. Kuma ba nasin da ke gwadawa ba za a yi alwala da ruwan zafi. Alwala lokacin san ya shi da ruwan zafi. Mu Afirka ruwan da zaka ɗebi kai alwala ma da zafi yake tun da cikin rana ne. So shi I would recommend kamar mutum zai alwala kana gida, in ka yi ka repeat ka yi alwala ma kowane sallah, ka practice wannan sunna na kurkure makogoro da kuma shaka ruwa hanci ka fete, to wannan kuma ya cikin preventive measures. Ba haka kuma wanda ya samu habbatu sauda ya jarraba.
Alhaji
wani
na ce
wani clove.
Habbatu saudan da ka fadin nan, ina gani ni na use shi da garlic.
Okay.
Ka tauna shi da garlic yana da zafi sosai yanda kake fadin nan. Which suggests kaman ya very very effective.
Don zafin nan shi ne ainihin
shi da garlic
factor na ya. Sannan wannan cloves nan black pepper kenan clove ko?
Wannan yes.
Wani video kuma from Westland wani masallaci suka kawo shi kuma kasa guda bakin ka shi ma na jarraba. In ka tauna ka bar shi ba kana jin wani heat yana round through your throat.
A shi bisan shi nan ne tankon nan.
Okay.
Round shi nan da tankon yake.
Round shi nan now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Shi kuma ya very very good.
So Allah taimake mu. Allah ka wasu.
Cin shi bai da kyau.
Wani
shi wannan gloves nan kaman cin shi
dai. Ya create maka ulcer ko heat.
Yes. Kaman ka ci kaman ka be careful of the quantity da ka ci kaman da ka ci.
Yes. Just like any heat da zai shiga stomach ka duka, maka careful ya create maka inflammation.
Haka nan
ne. Inflammation kuma it will lead to ulcer. So overdoing it can also bring another problem. Yeah. To Allah kara mana lafiya.
Amen.
So na ji lokacin mu ya kai.
Ade muna addu'a ce mu close.
Oh, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. اللهم ربنا اعطنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. اللهم إنا نعوذ بك من البرص والجنون والجذام ومن سيء الأسقام. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون والسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. صلوا على نبي الكريم
صلى الله عليه وسلم.
السلام عليكم.
yanka haki
Majid yana kira ka Majid
to Alhaji
na kira ka na wani 1-to-1 da kai.
Okay Alhaji mun gode kore Alhaji.
Mun gode Alhaji. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Which concert was in last weekend? Malamin Nsawam ne yayi ko?
Yayi wallahi ya kokari kuma.
Oh, that's good. Sai da Wisconsin ya kokari under promotion in Wisconsin kenan.
Wai na so a komo da shi don bai kare bayanin ba.
Aba.
Wallahi yana so a komo da shi zo karkare.
Wow.
Yanzu ya fara ma, yanzu bai shiga deep ba ma.
Okay, sai dai samu ya kyau kenan.
Ya samu kuma ta kawo shi kuma ya samu jama'a don Mani gari ga dewa sun san shi fa.
Oh.
Suna raka ma da shi yana gina musu rijiya da saura.
Allahu Akbar.
Yasa dewa sun hau kai.
Kere mun plan next weekend me muke da shi.
Amuna duban lawyer na kuma sami shi.
Next weekend wanda aka ce kaje ka mai Zoom ba kai ba na shi muke da shi.
Bayyana je ba lokacin time ya beat na.
Zaria bai yayi Zoom ba. Wis.
Ta wani shaka tambaye chama.
Malamin da ne bai yayi Zoom ba.
Malamin da ne kai ka haife shi ma an baka sani ba.
Ne. Kai ka haife shi ne.
Yaron zamani bai san technology ba.
A kasar karatu allo yake ya gobe.